Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to discuss with biopesticides. Good afternoon, students. Let us discuss about biopesticides today. Biopesticides used for biological pest control. Now, all of you know what are pests. Insect pests are those which damage the crop and reduce the agricultural produce. They adversely affect the agricultural product. They destroy the leaves or the fruits and at the same time cause huge economic losses. So what are pests? They are the insects that damage the crop and as well as the stored products. They feed on the leaves, the root, or they suck the sap of the plant and cause huge crop losses. These pests are controlled by using chemical pesticides. Okay, but when the chemical pesticides are sprayed on the plant, they are detrimental to the ecosystem. That means they are not eco-friendly. They cause environmental pollution and they are toxic. They are, you can say, poisonous. And if you continue to use the chemical pesticide for a long period, then the insect pests acquire resistance against these pesticides. And hence, year after year, you have to spray more and more chemical pesticide. Now, why this is of concern that we have to spray more and more chemical pesticide? Why we are so concerned? Because chemical pesticides are poisonous. They're non-biodegradable. They cannot be broken down by microbes, okay, or decomposing organisms present in the soil. Because they are not degraded, they cause health problems. How do they cause health problems? By bioaccumulation and biomagnification, meaning that because they are not degraded, they go on accumulating in soil and in other natural water bodies, okay, and lead to biomagnification and cause various variety of, we can say, diseases or health issues in human beings and animals, right? They are non-target specific. Non-target specific means what? They not only kill the target, they not only kill the insect pest, but they also kill the, you can say, useful microflora present in soil. They are harmful to birds, also to human beings. So not target specific. Okay, they pollute the soil and hence pollute the groundwater and hence the aquatic life that is present in, you can say, water bodies. So all in all, they are very, very hazardous and they cause environmental pollution. So a alternative, it was strongly recommended. So an alternative to chemical pesticide is strongly needed and recommended. Now, what can be the alternative? The alternative can be using biopesticide. So what is biopesticide? It refers to compounds that are used to manage the agricultural pest, or you can say that kill the agricultural pest by means of biological agents. Okay, and what are these biological agents? The biological agents are products which contain biocontrol agents. Okay, so any product which contain biocontrol agent, it can be a natural substance like a plant extract, a microorganism, certain minerals, okay, even the, you can say, predator insects, okay, or the genes or metabolites of microorganisms. So a biocontrol agent is any natural substance like a plant product, a microorganism, genes of microbes or metabolites or even minerals. Now, why do we want to use biopesticide to replace or as an alternative to chemical pesticide? Because they are safe, effective, efficient. They do not cause any health problem. They do not cause environmental pollution. They are non-polluting. They are non-hazardous. They are biodegradable and hence do not cause any kind of bioaccumulation or biomagnification. The most important being they are target specific. They only kill their target insect pest. Okay, so biopesticides or biological pesticides are pest management agents, okay, based on living organism or natural products, and they have proven their potential as pest management agents across the world. So biopesticides are certain kind of pesticides which are derived from natural materials like animal, plant, bacteria, and certain minerals. So if you want to define what biopesticides are living organisms or their products, phytochemical products or microbial products, or the byproducts which can be used for management of pests that are injurious to plant. Now, when I say biopesticides can be living organisms, these living organisms are cultivated in laboratory on a large scale and are used and exploited experimentally for control of harmful organisms. And these this includes predator insects, viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoan, nematodes, etc. Okay. Now, biopesticides play an important role in crop protection, although they are used most commonly along with chemical pesticide as a part of bio-intensive integrated pest management. Okay, but biopesticides or biological pesticides pose less threat to the environment. They do not pose any threat to environment. They are not hazardous to human beings, and they are specifically targeted to the single pathogenic pest. There are different classes of biopesticides. What are those? Microbial pesticides. Microbial biopesticides are those which contain microorganisms. What kind of microorganisms? The active ingredient present in a microbial pesticide is a microorganism. And what is that? It may be a bacteria, it may be a fungi, it may be a virus or a protozoa. Okay. Now, and this biocontrol agent is sprayed over the plants so that the insect pest is killed or destroyed. Okay, so microbial pesticides are nothing but microorganisms used as pesticides. Okay, the most widely used microbial biopesticide are the subspecies and strains of Bacillus thuringiensis or BT. Now, every strain of this Bacillus thuringiensis, various strains of BT are used. Bacillus thuringiensis in short is called as BT. Various strains of Bacillus thuringiensis are used to control the microbial, you can say, control the insect pests that damage the crop. The specific one being the Lepidopteris larvae, the cotton bollworm, the cotton budworm. Okay, all these can be controlled by using Bacillus thuringiensis. Each strain of the Bacillus thuringiensis produces a mix of proteins. Actually, Bacillus thuringiensis produces a protein called as crystal protein, in short, cryprotein we call it, also called as delta endotoxin. Variety of classes of crystal proteins which are toxic to the insect. You can say insecticidal proteins, which are crystal proteins, also called as delta endotoxin, are produced by Bacillus thuringiensis and kill specifically one or related species of insect larvae. Now, some BT ingredient control moth larvae found on plant. Other BT ingredient are specific for larvae of flies and mosquitoes. The target insect species are determined by whether the particular BT produces a protein that can bind to the larval gut receptor, thereby causing the larvae to starve. Actually, the organism causes the larvae to starve. We will discuss this in detail. Now, the second class of biopesticide is biochemical pesticide. These are all naturally occurring, you can also call them herbal pesticides. They are naturally occurring substances that can control the insect pest by non-toxic mechanism. Conventional pesticides are generally synthetic material. That means your chemical pesticides are synthetic material. So they kill the insect pest, but they are not target specific. They kill other useful microflora also, and they are hazardous, they are poisonous and all. So like that, not like that, biochemical or herbal pesticides are the substances which interfere with the mating of insects, like pheromones, as well as various scented plant extracts that attract the insect pest and they trap it. Or herbal pesticides can also be plant extracts like neem extract or dhatura plant extract or neem powder, which can be used to kill the insect pest. The third class is plant integrated protectant. Also, we can call them transgenic plants. Transgenic plants can also serve themselves as biopesticide, because in the transgenic plant, we have inserted a gene from some other bacteria or some other plant, which will help the plant itself to control the insect pest or to kill the insect pest. So plant-incorporated protectants are pesticidal substances that the plant produce from the genetic material that has been added to the plant. Okay, so we add a genetic material from a bacteria or from other plant into the plant itself, and this plant, which is genetically modified or transgenic plant, itself produces the pesticidal substance. Okay, for example, scientists take the BT pesticidal protein, okay, BT gene from bacteria and introduce into the plant's genetic material. Then the plant, not the bacteria, the plant itself will produce the Bt toxin, and when the insect feed on the plant, it will the pest will get destroyed. Okay. Now this is how we can manage insect pest by biological method, that is by using microbial pesticides or herbal or biochemical pesticides or PIPs or transgenic plants. So these are the three classes of biopesticides: microbial, biochemical or herbal, and plant integrated protectants. Okay, that we have discussed now. Okay. So a biopesticide can be a herbal pesticide like a plant extract. It can be a bacteria, it can be a fungi, it can be a virus, it can be a nematode. Okay, and that is how you kill the pest. If you look at the comparison between chemical pesticides and biopesticide, then if you look at the cost effectiveness, chemical pesticides are cheaper, but the spraying cost is more. Biopesticides are costlier, but number of applications are less. Now, residual effect is very high in chemical pesticide and low. Mostly, biopesticides are self-perpetuating. And if you look at the knockdown effect on the insect, chemical pesticide, immediate knockdown effect, but biochemical pesticides have a delayed knockdown effect. But if you look at the nature of control of the two, then chemical pesticide is a curative effect, has a curative effect, but biopesticide has a preventive effect. It will prevent. Now, chemical pesticides, if you look at handling and bulkiness, then though they are easy to handle, they are dangerous and hazardous. Biochemical pesticides biopesticides, though they are bulky because they are carrier based, but easy to, you can say, handle. I mean, easy to handle. Okay. Now, pest resurgence is more in chemical pesticides as compared to biopesticides. Resistance, insect develop resistance to the chemical pesticide very rapidly as compared to biopesticide. Okay, and if you look at chemical pesticide, they are not target specific. They are, you can say, broad spectrum chemicals. Okay, and whereas biopesticides are target specific and host specific. They will go and kill that particular insect against which it is sprayed. So all in all, there are so many advantages of biopesticides. Okay, what are the advantages? It is less toxic than the chemical pesticide. Then it kills only the target pest and related organism, whereas chemical pesticides have a broad spectrum effect. They affect the life of birds, insects, mammals also. Biopesticides are even effective in small quantities and often decompose quickly. They do not cause any kind of environmental pollution. Okay, and they are safer for humans as well as for environment. They are less toxic to humans and environment. Do not, you can say, leave back any residues. They are only target specific. They are target specific, and they suppress long-term suppression of pest population because they do persist in the environment. Now, if you look at the classes: bacterial biopesticide, fungal biopesticide, and viral biopesticide. Today, in this video presentation, we will discuss about bacterial biopesticides, and fungal and viral pesticides we will discuss in next. Okay, so the first and most important organism that is used as a bacterial biopesticide is Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay, so bacteria like Bacillus thuringiensis, Bacillus populae, Bacillus lentimobus, or you can say Pseudomonas are potentially used as biopesticides. Okay, these Bacillus thuringiensis, Bacillus populae have the potential to kill certain insect pests, and they are called as entomopathogenic bacteria. Entomopathogenic, pathogenic to fungi. Pathogenic to insects. Okay. Now, the first and most important bacterial biopesticide is Bacillus thuringiensis. It's a gram-positive spore-forming rod-shaped soil bacteria. During sporulation, the bacteria produces an insecticidal protein as parasporal crystals. Okay. So during sporulation, the bacteria produces insecticidal protein as parasporal crystal. This insecticidal protein is called as delta endotoxin, also called as crystal protein, or in short, cry protein. They are specifically toxic to insects belonging to Lepidoptera, Coleoptera, and few other insects. Bt delta endotoxin or Bt toxin. The toxin is also called as Bt toxin, produced by Bacillus thuringiensis. It is also called as crystal protein. It is also called as delta endotoxin or insecticidal protein. This protein is specifically active against Lepidopterus larvae, cotton budworm, bollworm, cauliflower viruses and all. What is the mode of action of Bt? The Bt cells, or you can say the culture of Bacillus thuringiensis, is sprayed on the leaves. It is available in the form of wettable powder. The powder is made wet and it is sprayed on the leaves. And when the insect ingests the larval form, when the larvae of the insect ingest the Bt toxin, or you can say the Bt inocula, okay, the Bt toxin gets inactivated. The Bt toxin is actually present in inactive form in the spores, right? And it gets activated when it enters the midgut of the insect because pH is alkaline in the gut of the insect. Okay, so what is the mode of action? When we spray the Bacillus thuringiensis culture on the leaves, okay, and when it produces the spores, the insect larvae feed on the leaves, and along with that, they eat the spores of Bacillus thuringiensis. Now, when they eat the spores of the Bacillus thuringiensis, what happens? The crystal protein is present in the spores in inactive form. Okay, the parasporal crystals are present in the bacterial spores in inactive form. It is inactive toxin. As soon as it reaches the midgut of the insect, the pH is alkaline there. At alkaline pH, the inactive toxin gets activated. Okay, so protoxin subunits are produced. Now, by the action of proteolytic enzymes present in the gut of the insect, the protoxin subunits is converted into active toxin units. It is converted into active, or you can say delta endotoxin. Now, the 6 active toxin unit molecule form a hexagonal pore in the midgut of the insect cell, in the midgut of the insect. Okay, so the epithelial lining of the midgut, the epithelial lining wall of the midgut is damaged by the delta endotoxin. Okay, so actually parasporal crystal is present in the spore is inactive toxin. It is activated because of the alkaline pH in the midgut of the insect, which is further completely activated by the proteolytic enzyme action and the active delta endotoxin. 6 active molecules join and form a hexagonal pore itself in the midgut cells. So epithelial lining is damaged by the toxin crystals. So all the epithelial lining is damaged because holes are created in the internal wall of the midgut. Because of that, cellular metabolism stops. Fluid loss from the body of the insect takes place. Fluid loss takes place. So the insect's body get dehydrated. It does not feed on the leaves. Cellular metabolism stops. So the insect undergoes starvation and ultimately dies because of starvation. Okay. So actually what happens? The larvae stop feeding. The larvae become sluggish and static. Water oozes out from the body. The larvae dies and fall off from the leaf. Various species of Bacillus thuringiensis are able to work against cotton bollworm, which bore the boll and cause economic loss, because when the Lepidopterus larvae bore the cotton boll, then the cotton thread is broken. You can say cotton thread gets broken from between, and we do not get good quality cotton, and hence it causes huge economic losses. Then cabbage worm and gypsy moth are also controlled by various species of Bt. This is the diagram which is showing the crystals, Bacillus thuringiensis crystals. Okay. Now, so insect ingests the parasporal crystal containing the crystal protein. The crystal proteins dissolve in the alkaline environment, okay, of the insect gut, and that means it gets partially activated, further activated by protease enzyme. The soluble inactive delta endotoxin are cleaved, rendering them active. So the alkaline pH and the protease together make the crystal protein active. It is broken down and then converted into active form. The activated toxins bind specifically to the receptor of the midgut epithelium. 6 toxin molecule, as I told you, join the epithelial lining of the midgut and thereby develop pores in the This leads to insertion of toxin and pores are developed in the epithelial wall. The cell lysis, disruption of epithelium cell, releases the cellular contents, leading to, you can say, starvation of the insect, and hence the insect dies. Okay, so these are the various subspecies and target, like Bacillus thuringiensis tenebrionis. Okay, tenebrionis is used for Colorado potato beetle, leaf beetle larvae. Then Kurstaki is used for various caterpillars, like that. Okay, so there are different subspecies of BT which are used to kill various, you can say, insect larvae, caterpillars, then moth, etc. Okay, the second type of bacteria that is used as bacterial biopesticide is Bacillus populae. Bacillus populae, which is now called as Bacillus populae. Formerly, it was called as Bacillus populae. Now it is called as Bacillus populae. Actually produces a milky spore disease in Japanese beetle grub. Okay, it is primarily lethal. This organism, Bacillus populae, also called as Bacillus populae, is primarily lethal to Japanese beetle grubs. Grubs are, you can say, larval stages or immature beetles of Japanese beetle. Okay. Now, Bacillus populae gram-negative spore-forming rods, right? Now, Bacillus populae is available actually in the form of milky spore powder. It is available in the form of milky spore. Why? Because it causes milky disease in the Japanese beetle grub. Now, milky spore is a bacterium that is Bacillus populae. Okay, this bacillus is primarily lethal to Japanese beetle grub. The life cycle of Japanese beetle includes immature beetle, which is called as a grub, or you can say larvae rather. The grub or the larvae, where are they present? They are present, or the habitat of the grubs is the soil of your lawn, garden soil, feeding on the root of your grasses and other vegetation. Okay, so these generally destroy vegetation and lawn soil, lawn garden. Okay, they feed on the root and destroy your vegetation. So they're primarily present on the lawn and garden soil. Now, once milky spore is applied, what is milky spore? Actually, it is the powder form of the organism Bacillus populae. When you apply milky spore, or you can say this is the spore suspension. When you apply the milky spore, the grubs ingest the milky spore powder as a normal part of their feeding. When you apply it on your lawn soil, what will happen? The grubs, the Japanese beetle grubs, will ingest the milky spore. That means they will ingest the Bacillus populae as if it is a normal part of their feeding. Okay, the more spores in the area, the greater the chance of infection. So the spores of the bacilli are ingested by the grubs, and they go on ingesting, and slowly the grub gets infected and the grub dies within 3 weeks. And when the grub dies within 3 weeks and its body degenerates or decomposes, more spores are released from the body of the insect itself, the grub itself. Okay. Now, the question is, when you apply milky spore powder on the soil, will it be destroyed? Will the spores be destroyed? No. The milky spores, that is Bacillus populae spores, are not affected by freezing or other environmental condition. They persist in the soil. Okay, it is considered harmless to food crops. Milky spore powder is again harmless to food crops. So you can spray the powder, or you can add the powder on the vegetation also. And most fertilizer, pesticide or herbicide and lawn chemicals do not kill the milky spore. It may be used in gardens, around your pools, near wells. It is well known to affect. It is not going to harm your pets or beneficial insect or fishes or bees or birds or other animal and plant. Okay, it is only active against Japanese beetle grubs or the insects. Okay, insect pest, right? Now, when the Japanese beetle grub ingest the spores of Bacillus populae, and when the population of spore, okay, number of spores increase enormously in their body, then the grub becomes white in color. Like you can see in the lower diagram, the left side, it's a normal or a healthy larvae. Okay, you can see the color of the body is around black, but The other larvae which is infected, the body is all white, milky white on the right one. Okay, the right one is milky white. That's why the name of the disease is milky white disease, or the powder that is the powder of Penibacillus populae is called as milky spore powder because it causes milky disease in the Japanese beetle grubs. Okay. The one more important bacteria that can be used as a biopesticide or that has biocontrol action is Pseudomonas. This bacteria is commonly present in the rhizospheric area of the plant root, and it controls the soil pathogens. How? By producing certain inhibitory substances like phenazines, pyroluteroin, HCN. It also produces enzymes like glucanase, protease, cellulase, chitinase, which destroys the soil pathogens and controls your, you can say, protects your plant from pathogenic attack by various microbes. Okay, so Pseudomonas fluorescens, say for example, produces phenazines, which effectively control the bacterial pathogen, which can cause bacterial blight or root rot or red rot. It also helps in preventing damping off and wilt disease. Is that clear? So bacteria like Pseudomonas present in the rhizosphere secrete certain inhibitory substance and enzymes which will protect your plant from various bacterial infection or various, you can say, various pathogenic attack. Okay, so that is all about bacterial biopesticides. Okay, in the next presentation we will discuss about fungal biopesticides, right?